When Meghan Markle sits down with the rest of the royal family for their traditional Christmas dinner this year, it will be a stark contrast to her previous holidays spent in the US. Long before meeting husband Prince Harry, Meghan had spent the holiday season delivering turkeys to homeless shelters in Skid Row, a square mile of downtown Los Angeles packed with thousands of destitute people who seek shelter in dirty tents on the sidewalks. Skid Row is known for its high crime rate, and, come nightfall, up to 10,000 homeless people, many with drug, alcohol and mental health problems, will congregate in the impoverished neighborhood. But that didn't stop the Markle family from helping those in need. Meghan's parents Thomas Markle and Doria Ragland insisted on handing out turkeys at holiday times. At one stage, Markle even volunteered at Hippie Kitchen, a long-standing Skid Row soup kitchen. In an essay on her humanitarian work, Markle once wrote, "My parents came from little, so they made a choice to give a lot, buying turkeys for homeless shelters at Thanksgiving, delivering meals to people in hospices, giving spare change to those asking for it. It's what I grew up seeing, so it's what I grew up being, a young adult with a social consciousness, to do what I could, and speak up when I knew something was wrong." What a difference from the opulent surroundings of Sandringham House, in Norfolk, where the royals have been enjoying the Yuletide every year since 1988. When the Queen and her relatives open presents on Christmas Eve, Markle, 37, will be able to tell her new family the story behind one of her father's first gifts, which made her proud of growing up in a mixed-race household. Thomas is white, Doria black. According to Andrew Morton's biography, Meghan Markle, a Hollywood princess, her father bought 2 sets of heart dolls containing the traditional nuclear family unit of mother, father and 2 children. He bought one with black dolls, one with white, and mixed them together to represent Meghan's own family. Then he wrapped them in sparkly Christmas paper and placed the box under the tree, Morton writes. While the Duchess has been praised for her past and present charity work, it's also been noted that she has a sense of entitlement, and it's not a recently acquired trait. Harry was quoted as saying, "What Meghan wants, Meghan gets is," but apparently her father also doted on the Duchess. Growing up as the favorite of her father, she'd demand what she wanted at Christmas, and pretty much always get it, much to the annoyance of her half-siblings, Thomas, Jr and Samantha, Morton's book claims. Morton writes, Samantha often told the story of the time before Christmas, when Meghan was looking at a jewelry catalog and picking out a ring, which Tom Sr. had promised as a gift. She teased her much older sister by saying that whatever her father bought Samantha, Meghan would receive the most expensive gift as she was the most favored child. During the holiday periods, while living in Woodland Hills, the Raglands and Markles would get together for a true Southern feast of sweet potato pie, gumbo, ham hocks and beans, which Thomas Jr. recalls as good times, adding, "They were happy-assed people with a real sense of family." The royal Christmas dinner will be a whole new ball game, with the youngest princes and princesses eating separately from the adults and cared for by nannies, a tradition which means Markle's newborn will be in a separate room from her next year, unless Meghan insists otherwise. According to former chef Darren McGrady, who has cooked 9 Christmas dinners for the royals, their food palates aren't the most adventurous, saying, "They're actually boring when it comes to festivities, turkey, different stuffings, sage and onion, chestnut, and the traditional sides like roast potatoes, mashed potatoes, parsnips and Brussels sprouts." The pudding was made in pudding basins, turned out, decorated in holly, doused in brandy, and then the palace steward would carry it, flaming, into the royal dining room. It was so traditional. While studying at Northwestern University in Chicago, if she didn't go back home to Los Angeles for Christmas, Meghan would stay on campus and hang out at her women's sorority, Kappa Kappa Gamma, where she handily lived next door at the North Mid-Quad halls of residence. Markle credits the nearby 24-hour Burger King for keeping her going during these times, as well as the Mexican food chain Chipotle, just across the road. She had said in a blog post years ago that little girls dream of being princesses, but they must have been almost impossible to envisage as she was tucking into burgers and fries, sitting on hard plastic chairs under the stark bright lights. After landing the part of Rachel Zane in Suits, she started dating film producer and first husband Trevor Engelson, and would spend her weeks commuting between Los Angeles and filming in Toronto. Special events like Christmas and Thanksgiving would be split between her new beau and the cast, who would party together in Toronto, with Meghan bringing her Vitamix super blender to whip up soups and cocktails for the group, according to Morton. When back in law for Christmas with Engelson, 42, she'd be watching sports in the dive bars near their two-bedroom, one-bath bungalow in West Hollywood, behind Sunset Strip. It's believed the couple met in a dive bar, and after Meghan was introduced to basketball by her ex-boyfriend Steve Lepper in college, Engelson and Markle would frequent drinking spots such as the legendary Irish sports pub, Rock and Riley's, virtually on the corner of their home street. Share this article. Share as seen in our photos. The Sawdust and Spittoons tap rooms aren't dissimilar to the British pubs Harry, 34, used to visit in his mischievous teenage and 20-something years. When Meghan eventually met her English prince, apparently on a blind date at the trendy Soho farmhouse, the pair celebrated Christmas prematurely in 2016. Due to royal protocol, they had no hope of spending the actual day together, so had a week at Nottingham Cottage in Kensington Palace during early December. They bought a tree at Pines and Needles in Battersea, South London, and staff even gave the smitten pair a branch of mistletoe for good luck. Morton goes on to tell the story. For the most part, they managed to elude the watchful paparazzi, the couple wearing matching blue beanie hats to obscure their faces. They walked through the theater district, where they saw the slapstick comedy Peter Pan Goes Wrong, and sometime later the brilliant staged The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, based on Mark Haddon's novel.